life, and this is the plot. Saturday sees yet again, the greatest steeplechase in the world, the Grand National, and that's last year's winner, Corbière. And here, a week ago last Thursday, winning the blue ribbon of steeplechasing, Burra Hill Lad of the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Now, what have these two horses got in common? Yes, I know almost everyone in the land knows the answer. A remarkable woman trainer. Someone who has stormed the male-dominated world of racing to bring off that record double. She's, in fact, in that car you saw heading in this direction with the man in her life, David State, assistant trainer, and they're heading for a dinner date, but they've been invited to pop in here to Drury Lane first for a drink and a photograph. Now, one of the many things she won't expect is to hear the singing voice of racehorse owner and personal friend of the lady in question, but better known to you and me, of course, as international singing star Dorothy Squires. And I'm going to join Dorothy's special audience and hear her special song.
Worth a damn till you can say, hey word, I am what
Thank you, Dorothy Squires, and all these friends and colleagues of yours celebrating your history-making year so that I can say, Jenny Pittman, tonight, this is your life. Secret here, friends from Lambourne, racehorse owners, jockeys, and your stable staff, including your younger sister Mandy, who's the secretary. And Jenny, that special song back there, I Am What I Am, was chosen for you and sung for you by singing star Dorothy Squires. Well, now, Jenny, quite a few people, as you've seen, very important in your life, were not where you expected them to be tonight, nor are two others.
That's right, Mum. I've got the day off school.
And I've got the day off from being a stable boy.
Yeah, who else were those two proud sons of yours, 16-year-old Paul and 17-year-old Mark? Jenny, perhaps young Mark here, who's intent on becoming a professional jockey, there he is taking offence at Cheltenham, might one day ride a Grand National winner for you. And right now, let's turn back the calendar to the Grand National. 9th of April, last year, Peter O'Sullivan commentating as the horse you've trained, owned by Brian Burra, ridden by Ben DeHaan, comes to the last fence.
And hello, Dandy, Corbière by 3 lengths from Grease Paint. Then comes your man, then hello, Dandy. They're racing towards the elbow in the National. And it's Corbière, ridden by 23-year-old Ben DeHaan, who's clear at the moment of Grease Paint in second. Your man third. Fourth is hello, Dandy. And it's Corbière with a furlong to run in the National, being pressed by Grease Paint. Corbière from Grease Paint putting in a tremendous run for Ireland, ridden by Mr. Colin Matner. It's Grease Paint on the near side, beginning to get up as they race towards the line. It's Corbière from Grease Paint, and Corbière's won it. And Corbiere makes Jenny Pittman the first lady to train a Grand National winner.
Honestly, I think I'm dreaming. I really do. I really don't think it's real. It's amazing.
Two very special people among the first to congratulate you there, Jenny, and indeed they try not to miss any important race, travelling all over the country to be with you. They were at Cheltenham, of course, when the Queen Mother presented you with the coveted Gold Cup, and they're certainly not going to miss being with you tonight. Your father George and Mother Mary. George, tell me, how did you feel as Corbiere came up to that last fence there?
Well, I thought it was marvellous, Eamon.
David, how confident were you and Jenny before the big race?
Jenny's always confident. I never am, Eamon.
Now, Dorothy, squires, you've personal knowledge of Jenny's talents as a trainer because she trained 3 of your horses, right?
Didn't she train 6 of my horses? And one, Esban was one of the greatest achievements when she won the Crudwell chase with him for the 2nd time. And that day she beat Rubstick and he trotted up and Rubstick went on to win the Grand National.
Well, Jenny Pittman, this is your life, and you were born middle one of 7 children on June the 11th at the family home Lodge Farm, close by the village of Hobie, near Melton Mowbray in Leicestershire, and christened Jennifer Susan Harvey. Now, George, that was before the farm was mechanised, so you had quite a few workhorses around.
Oh yes, we depended on horses mainly in those days, and we fixed Jenny up with a pony very early. She'd be about 18 months old, you know, when we first bought her.
And Mary, you took little Jenny to the sale where you bought the pony, right?
Yes, that's right, Eamon, but Jenny went to sleep in her dad's arms while we were waiting for the right pony to come through. And when we bought it, I just put her on its back and she woke up and pulled its mane, and I think she thought she was dreaming. But that was the start of her riding.
Do you remember that, Jenny?
Yes, I do.
Felt you were dreaming, I bet.
Yeah. I remember falling asleep on my dad.
And there you are, Jenny, age 10, pictured with Timmy, that pony. And by that time, you've got a second pony called Rocket. And as you describe yourself in your book, Glorious Uncertainty, you were a bit of a tomboy and like nothing more than a game of cowboys. And if you look at that screen, Jenny, we're going to take you back in time when the Leicestershire countryside was to you like the Wild West. As we hear from an old family pal, Jeff Dodd recapturing his 6-shooting boyhood cowboy role.
Hi, Jenny. Well, the Wells Fargo Express ought to be 10 minutes out of Melton by now. Remember how we used to do it? One of the ponies taking the place of those Wells Fargo horses in the trap. You used to be driving, and your younger sister Mandy, and your 2 younger brothers Richard and David. This is how it used to be.
We rounded them all up tonight. Jeff Dodd, your cousins Pauline Hanson and Philip Harvey, your younger brother Richard with his wife Janet, and also with him in town, your older brother Peter with his wife Diane, and with their husbands Leo and Peter, your sisters Judy and Jackie. Well, Jenny, Pauline played your role in our Western there. How did she do?
She didn't do too badly.
School days, Jenny, in the village were at Hobie Church of England School, where one day 30 years ago there was great excitement as the whole school boarded a coach for a day trip to the seaside. They were happy days.
But, Jenny, While everyone else was having fun, you'd have faced as long as a wet weekend in Wigan.
The headmistress who took you on that trip, in a few weeks she'll be an astonishing 93 years old, but here for you, Nellie Atkins. So Nellie, tell me, why was Jenny looking so miserable that day?
Well, I couldn't think why, but later on I asked your mother, and she said, well, and Maya's expecting a foal today.
Yes.
And so you didn't cheer up till tea time. And then it was Jennifer we took home, although we didn't bring her.
Thank you, Nellie Atkins. Marvellous 93, eh, Jenny? Must be the country air, huh? Now, throughout your childhood, you win trophies at gymkhanas and point-to-point meetings, and even a bad fall, which results in a fractured skull, doesn't put you off your love of horses. When you leave school, you start work as a stable girl, first locally, then a year later, when you're 16, at Bishop's Cleeve near Cheltenham. How did you feel, can you remember, leaving home and this close family of yours for the first time?
I was looking forward to the adventure, but I was going to miss my family, but I wanted to see what was the other side of Brooksby Grange anyway.
Of course you did, but for a young girl of your age, you must have felt very nervous stepping off that bus into strange territory.
Excuse me, are you Jenny Harvey?
She was to become your closest friend, head stable girl those days, head groom now at a well-known show-jumping stables near Warrendorf in Germany. We've flown her from there tonight, as you guessed, Josie Hooley. And Jenny, we have a picture here of you and Josie together, taken 20 years ago. But Josie, did you ever think that your roommate would be one of the country's most successful trainers?
Well, even in those early days, she had all the attributes to make a successful trainer. She really knows and understands her horses.
How do you remember her best?
As a terrific friend, for all the happy times that we spent together and the laughs and having a really good time.
I remember you for working me so hard.
And what about when you had to leave?
I think Jenny was very sad that she wouldn't have the companionship and the friendship.
So what did she do?
She went off and bought herself a dog as a companion.
Thank you, Josie Hooley. 1963, Jenny, you moved to Lambourne in Berkshire to work as stable girl for someone who, alas, cannot be with you in person tonight, but he was much more than the stable's owner to the young Jenny Pittman. He was and still is friend, confidant, and very much encouraged your talent. Now 86 years old, he talks to you from his home in Upper Lambourne. Major Geoffrey Champneys.
Hello, Eamon. Hello, Jenny. I'm sorry not to be with you for your special night, but you know I never go to London anymore. It's 20 years ago since you came to work for me. And it was a very little while before I found out that you were one of the best girls that I'd ever had. You know that I tried to ring you first of anyone to congratulate you on your big winners. We were always very touched. After Mark was born, you brought him round this way from hospital to see us before anyone else. Congratulations, Jenny, and the best of luck in the National.
And thank you, Major Geoffrey Champneys. While you're working for Major Champneys, that you marry the successful national hunt jockey and later commentator Richard Pittman, but sadly your marriage ends in divorce in 1977. You had first started to make your mark as a trainer in point-to-point meetings, which are for amateurs, but you have a horse at your stables you reckon is good enough for professional national hunt meetings. You take it to Fakenham in Norfolk, and it wins. The owner of the horse is delighted. He telephones with an offer that's to change the course of your life.
Jenny, this is an ultimatum. I'm giving you just 2 weeks to make up your mind to go professional.
Just flown in from Germany, the owner who set you off on a winning streak, Tony Stratton-Smith. Tony, how did Jenny react to that challenge?
Jenny's understanding of horses is very similar to a poet's understanding of life. She is wonderful. And I sent her 2 or 3 horses, among them a horse called Gillipus. all the male experts had told me this horse is too slow ever to win a race. I have to tell you that Jenny won 5 races in the next 20 months or so with the horse, and we came within 1 fence of winning the
Welsh National.
Well, I think there was one thing she never really forgave Guy Libbers for, was that Jenny had very carefully been not only house proud, but very yard proud. She runs a very marvellous yard. And she'd planted all the roses in order, in your colours, your own racing colours, and it was a splendid sight. And this horse had this trick of opening his box and letting himself out for a little morning walk, unbeknownst to anybody else. And the day after Jenny had spent all day planting this, the horse got out, trotted round the yard, and
pulled everyone out.
Thank you, Tony Stratton-Smith. Well, you set up in business as a professional trainer in 1975 at Parva-Stud, and within a year moved to Weathercock House in Upper Lambourne. And Jenny, since those uncertain early days, horses you've trained have won other principal races besides those much acclaimed wins of the Grand National and the Cheltenham Gold Cup.
And it's the gamble of the race. Barry Hill Lad going well on the inside, over on the near side, over on the far side. Royal Judgment and Lucky Vane racing into the closing stages. It's Barry Hill Lad from Royal Judgment and Lucky Vane racing up towards the line. It's another for John Frankham as they race up towards the line. Barry Hill Lad wins the Coral Welsh National. Second is Royal Judgment and third is Lucky Vane.
The leaders have 1 to go. Master Key on the near side of the lead. Ron Drink Deep on the far side. That's a 1 to over. Rockfall over in third place. Then goes Matt Kelly as they run up towards the line. Master Key being strongly challenged on the far side. Bright Deep Creek. Rockfall also finishing strongly. As they come towards the line, it's Master Key and Graham McCauley has won it.
He's really slaughtering these. Barra Hill Lad coming right away from Lucky Vane as they come towards the line. Barra Hill Lad, the easy winner.
Pilot officer being pressed out by Corbier as they come to the last. Pilot officer lands in the lead. Corbier second, and Corbier putting it in red one on the near side. It's pilot officer on the far side. Corbier on the near side. Corbier going away now from pilot officer as they race up towards the line. It's Corbier from pilot officer. Pilot officer is fighting back as they come to the line. It's a photo finish between Corbier and pilot officer.
Well, with all that excitement and success, little wonder that Mark there has the racing bug. And Mark, you've already ridden 4 winners for your mother. What's your greatest ambition?
I'd love to win the national for my mum. That'd be fantastic.
And Paul, what about you?
Oh, no, I'll leave the racing smart. I prefer to become a professional cricketer.
Fair enough. Jenny, you call the business you're in the glorious uncertainty. An Irish expression, you say, and I'd like to remind you of a trip which you set out to Ireland with your vet Barry Park there in a friend's 4-seater light aircraft.
And Jenny, you decided the uncertainty of flying with me was far from glorious.
The pilot pal you nicknamed Biggles, Michael Dunkley. Biggles, eh? So, Michael, Jenny didn't like the flight.
Oh, Eamon, that's putting it mildly. We had a bit of trouble with the loading. Because we had to distribute the weight right, didn't we? And then, well, we took off, and it was such a beautiful day. You could see Ireland. And we got into the air, and I thought all was well, but I looked behind, and there was this little face just peering over the seats, and it was frozen with fear. And we had to, it was a bit bumpy, but we had to land at Bristol. And then I think you went home by...
Caught a train home from Bristol.
And didn't get to keep her appointment in Ireland.
Never again.
No, but she can keep it with me right now, and right here.
The man you meant to see to buy horses from can keep that date with you tonight. An old pal of yours from Wexford, John Joe Howlett. John Joe, word spread about Jenny not getting back on the plane, right?
Indeed it did, Eamon. She was teased about...
what do they call it at the tapes?
Whipped around at the tapes. So Jenny was on her way home.
Thank you, John Joe Howlett and Michael Dunkley. Jenny, I noticed the first thing you mentioned to Michael when he came in were the colours on his sleeves. You always insisted he wore those red sleeves. Why?
So I could see him when he came off.
Well, now, Jenny, I'd like to remind you of another jockey who rode for you. In fact, he remembers riding Corbier long before it won the Grand National.
And a bit of a painful memory too, Jenny, because Corbier and myself parted company at the 15th fence at Warwick.
You've paid tribute not only to his riding genius, but to his long and courageous fight against cancer. Of course, the jockey who's to win the 1981 Grand National and whose life story is now a full champion.